Hey, it's been forever, I guess, since I last made one of these. Um, but yeah, this is my yearly reflection for 2025. Um, so this year was very strange, if I'm gonna be truthfully honest. This year felt like nothing, and yet it meant a lot of things to me at the same time. Like, obviously, to put some backstory, I was kind of still reeling from the ramifications of everything that happened from 2024 with people, thinking I was a word I don't think I'm allowed to say. Um, and people just say straight up accusing me of things and stuff like that. But luckily, I have found people that did believe my side of the story when it comes to telling what I went through. And I'm very glad to have found these people in 2025. Um, and it really made me feel a lot better about myself as a person because until then I was, constantly in my mind, constantly playing what they said about me over and over and over again into my head, and it made me think, were they right? Am I really this god awful person? Or but then I realized, talking to these people that no, I'm not this god awful person. I'm just somebody that did something incredibly dumb. I will admit that, and I made a terrible mistake, and it it's human. Humans make mistakes all the time, and it's how we learn from said mistakes that will define us. So I decided that, I was going to set much stronger boundaries with the people I talk to, because I feel that had I had these stronger boundaries back then, I wouldn't be in the position that I am right now. But again, that, you know, that I can't speak English. It's been a while since I made one of these, okay? So, um, but yeah. The one person that I have to really acknowledge and someone that I did collab with this year um was my good friend Tom, aka Tom's Lawyer. So thank you for showing up to my life, um just believing me, talking with me over the phone, and just chatting with me because I felt like I needed that person that I needed to talk with and get that understands me on another basis because I had someone like that, but again, he was part of the people that believed I was a bad did something really really godforsaken awful, and I he didn't give me a chance to like um tell to, to listen to my side of the story and then straight up blocked me. But Tom did. Tom did. And I'm glad he did because honestly, we kind of related to each other a lot more than meets the eye. And honestly, I'm glad that we do because it shows it showed to me at least that even though the person you thought was going to be with you um for a long time isn't there anymore, someone else could just as easily take their place. And Tom took that place. So thank you, Tom, for that. Um, As for like the world itself, lots of stuff happened. I'm not going to get into anything because a lot of it is very political, and I'm not a politics channel. That would be like, I don't want to be that. Um, but basically, a whole bunch of stuff happened. If you saw the news, you'd know. Um, and that's all I'm going to say on the matter because I will say it's just nuts what happened in the political side of 2025. It's nuts because it's it, it's something that I couldn't even fathom, especially towards the last quarter of the year. That's when it really started to get nuts. So was that last quarter. Um, Now let's move on to Ninjago Wise. Obviously, Ninjago Wise. Um, there was Dragons Rising season 3, um, which I may want to rewatch it again, because again, hopefully before Dragons Rising season 4 comes, and we could just, and hopefully there'll be something. Hopefully season 4 will be better than season 3, so hopefully um that will it will be a lot better than that. Then one thing I also want to mention is that I found a new home. I found a new home for, to talk with people about Ninjago with, because originally my homes, or communities, I should say, but I call it my home because, um, it makes me feel safe and it makes me feel like I belong in something. It feels like I'm taking part of something. Um, and that was the Ninjago fandom wiki. The people there are so incredibly nice. They are some of the best people I've ever talked to. They're so reasonable. They don't. They still get into arguments, but it's not even close to the extent that something like Twitter or something like that was. Um, so it's a lot more reasonable, and it's straight up awesome how everyone treats each other there, and it's like, why couldn't Twitter just be like this? Why can't we just treat each other with respect? Because it felt like on Twitter when I was there, it felt like if you didn't have the right opinion, you were going to get harassed for it, especially when it came to shipping. But that's really a lot that I have to talk about. And um this year felt like a big blur for me. I kind of dissociated with it a little bit, and I feel like it nothing I don't want to say nothing truly good came in because there were good stuff sprinkled in every now and then, but I felt like it didn't become truly good for me as a person until like the last couple, like even probably this month of December. Um, it just felt like it was not a bad year, but it wasn't a good year. You know what I mean? It was kind of like an okay. It was an okay sort of year. Nothing too crazy happened for me personally this year. And also, I also want to point out that, yeah, I didn't feel motivated to make videos this year. Same with last year because of the whole ramifications, but also because I did not feel motivated at all to do the things I loved because I was still questioning whether like I was even worthy of continuing because it felt like I just got incredibly burnt out, and I got incredibly depressed sometimes to the point where I just didn't feel like making videos for an extended period of time. That's why for like the last quarter or something like the year, I was just making shorts talking about the thoughts because it was just way easier to make a short talking about something random for about a few minutes than make a whole video that's like 8 minutes in length talking about something else because I just didn't have that mental wherewithal to say, you're going to do this, you're going to talk about this for so and so amount of time, and that'll be it. So, this is like the first time since then that I've felt like I've wanted to talk about things for an extended period of time beyond the shorts limit of 3 minutes. And the same thing goes with, my passion, for voice acting. I took like a whole like half year off because I checked my casting call club profile. And prior to the couple of submissions that I did for the end of the year, my last one was in June of 2024. So um, it was like a year and a half. It was a year and a half that I took a hiatus away because I just wasn't in the right headspace for it. Because I know for voice acting, you have to be in the right state of mind. Because if you're not, then you're not going to believe the words you're speaking out of your mouth. Therefore, it's not going to be a believable performance. So I want people to believe what I do with my voice right here when it comes to voice recording and all that. So that's why I took a year and a half off. But I think it was more than enough time to get my thoughts collected and say, you know what? I want to do it again. I miss it. I want to do it more. And honestly, I am I feel a lot more motivated now. I feel a lot more motivated to make videos again. I feel a lot more motivated to voice act again. I feel a lot motivated to, change my life altogether, change how I do things because I think 2026 is the year of change. There's going to be a lot of change and some good, some bad, but we'll go at it as it comes around. So that's I think that's pretty much all I have to say about this year because this year has been sort of all over the place for me and for the world as a whole. It's just it was kind of nuts, but at the same time it didn't feel that way. So I'm incredibly happy to come back because I've missed you guys. I've missed you all. I'm very sorry that I didn't upload as much as I could have nor should have been in both 2024 and 2025. But like I said before, I just wasn't motivated to do anything. So I basically just didn't want to do anything. So, like, all I wanted to do was just watch my shows and eat a bunch of food and maybe on the occasion work out. But even then, it was kind of hard to even do that because it's a mood based thing. And I've decided that hopefully within the next, hopefully I'll talk to my parents, more specifically my mom. I'm thinking about possibly going to therapy, because like one-on-one therapy, because I do have a counselor. But the thing is, a counselor can only do so much. For me, my counselor makes me think about a lot of things, but it doesn't help with the deep seated rooted dark thoughts in my mind. So basically, I need someone to like pull those roots out of my head in order to fully change my perspective. So hopefully, I will talk to my mom about that and see if I can, could get actual therapy because I feel like I need it. I feel like I need actual therapy for what's going on and whatnot. Um, not just for all the stuff that happened, but just for all the crap that I went through. Um, Now, also, I want to address something that I mentioned in the previous yearly reflection, and that was the end of the channel. Because, as I mentioned in the previous one, I said that 2025 was going to be the last year. But like I said before, because I was just not motivated to make any videos or make a lot of videos at all, I decided to delay that to 2026. So hopefully 2026, I think, might be the last one, because again, for the previous reasons I stated in the previous yearly reflection, I felt like I'm just making the same type of Ninjago content over and over again, and it just feels repetitious at this point. And especially considering how I delved into Ninjago news kind of early on. Now nobody's really covering it besides Tanner Fishies, which is fair enough. He kind of owns it. He's like he monopolized it pretty much. Now everybody's just talking about like certain aspects of Ninjago and like their thoughts on it, which is fine. I've been doing that for ages and ages, but I feel like now there's still a couple of new Ninjago YouTubers, I guess, that are coming in, but it's not quite the same as it was during the pandemic era where I came around. Um, but it's neither here nor there. So one last thing, I did reach 750 subscribers, so thank you all for 750. Hopefully this last run we could push finally to that last quarter to 1,000. Um, Even if I don't make it to 1,000, um, for that last year, I will be I will be grateful for what I do have. Even if it's still 750 by the end of 2026, I will still be grateful for it because I I have loved doing this. Remember, I've been doing this since I was 15, 16 years old, and now I'm 23. So, um it's it's it feels very it feels very bittersweet, but at the same time, I want to make the final year of this channel's existence one worth knowing. So hopefully I could go back to the prime days of Luke, aka Luke the Nindroid, from like 2020, 2021. Not to the extent of like making 6 videos a week, but like, making it's all about the passion. It's all about the passion. I feel like, I want to bring that passion back because I feel motivated. One thing I also discovered was that I don't know if you guys follow the Chinese calendar, but apparently 2025 was the year of the snake, which involves shedding your skin and, and it goes through this process of becoming a new version of yourself. And a lot of it can be very painful, just like for a snake. But it's it's for building a lot of strength. Um and one thing I also saw that kind of inspired me was say 2025 I'm it was made to make you stronger. 2026 is going to hopefully make you happier. And I hope that's what 2026 will bring, not just me, but to all of you. I hope all of you will be very happy in 2026 because I think we all need a bit of happiness after the hellacious ride that was 2025. It was just a roller coaster of like a lot of things, not just for personal stuff for probably some of you, but even the world as a whole. So try not to get too heated in the comments because I don't want to have to deal with talks about like I said, the political stuff. I don't want to get into that. Like that's private stuff. I don't want to put that stuff on a public place like my YouTube channel. But yeah, that is my yearly reflection for 2025. So, how is your 2025? Let me know in the comments down below. But hopefully, you'll receive a lot more videos, hopefully, better quality. Maybe, I don't know. um, hopefully, I do a lot of cool things in 2026, and hopefully, even if 2026 will be the true last year of this channel's existence, I will be forever grateful for the adventures that I've had, good and bad, um, in this ride. And like I said before, I will still keep the channel up once after I'm fully finished with it. It'll be an archive. I'll also try and find a way to archive every single video that I've made, so that you will, if you're feeling nostalgic, you want to go through like a lot of my channel's existence from the time I was a teenager to a young adult. But does that mean that I'll be finished making YouTube videos as a whole? No, most likely not. Because one thing I've learned about YouTube is that most YouTubers nowadays have like 5 channels now. Because that's just how the algorithm works. You need like 5 channels to do like a specific style of content. Whereas back then, you only needed one. Now you need like 5. But, you know, I've had enough rambling. So, anyways, tell me how your 2025 was in the comments down below. And hopefully, I will see you all in 2026. But anyways, I hope you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and click on the notification bell to receive every video that I will upload, because there may not be many more. Like I said, I'll try my best. And the whole final tour might even extend into 2027. Who knows? But anyways, I hope you guys had a wonderful 2025, and I hope you have an even better 2026. But until then, I will see you guys in the next video, whenever that will may be. But I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.